Icon of the Seas has over 20 places to eat on board that ship, with about a dozen free places to eat. So we visited every single free spot, tried at least one thing on the menu, sometimes more. And today we're gonna let you know what we think.
So we're gonna give you our top 8 places right now.
Hi, I'm Crystal.
And I'm Marshall.
And welcome back to the channel. If you're new here or you just haven't had a chance to subscribe, please do. It really helps the channel, and we have a growing community of cruisers, so you might wanna join.
Let's get started. Icon of the Seas, they have a lot of places that aren't on any of the other ships.
Yeah, we were actually surprised because it seems like wherever you go, there's more food spots. So I was like, oh, wow, here's another place. And then just more and more and more. So it was kind of a nice surprise for us.
Yeah, every neighborhood had a free place to eat and also a specialty restaurant. It was quite an experience on there. So let's start with our rankings, and we'll begin at number 8, Basecamp on deck 16. And my overall impression, why it made the list, is that it's good basic American fare, and it's in the middle of a lot of action. So you can just grab something, go on a slide, go to the mini golf, do so many different things. And it's also mostly covered, outside but covered. So if you got to get out of the sun, this is your place.
On the menu, they have burgers, hot dogs, chicken fingers, and then the thing we tried.
This is why it makes the ranking for sure, pretzel bites. What a novel little bite of food that you can take with you, sit down, and they were really tasty.
Yeah, so we had a choice of 2 different sauces. There was a cheese sauce and of course a honey mustard. So we said, yes, please. We took both.
And I personally said, yes, please, 3 or 4 times during the cruise.
I didn't know that.
You walk by the pretzel smell, I wound up stopping and getting it.
So number 7 is the Surfside Eatery. Now this is actually a buffet, but it's much smaller and much less crowded than the big buffet Windjammer Café up on the pool deck. So for families who are in this Surfside area, you don't have to drive the kids off and go get dressed and go someplace else. It's right there in Surfside. So the things that they had on the menu include?
Yeah, include all kid favorite stuff. Like in the morning when it's open for breakfast, get your chocolate chip pancakes with different sauces and things to put on top of it. In the afternoon, again, it's kid friendly. You get pasta in friendly, smiley shapes, including a variety of other things. It was just very kid focused, but the food was tasty. And I think we enjoyed it a couple times.
Yeah, I heard they also have like chicken nuggets and stuff like that. So stuff like, at least when my daughter was little, things that she would have wanted to eat.
Yes, for sure. And I still do.
And what did you have there? Because you took one for the team.
I did. I went there and I really basically had a couple different salads. They're pre-made in those small glass bowls. And as always, a little dessert, because I had to try one of those puff pastries that they had there.
Puff pastry?
Yeah, a little, I don't know if it was, but like a little Boston cream pie filling inside of a pastry, a fun little bite. It reminded me of the pretzel bites, but a pastry.
Right up your alley.
Right up my alley.
So that's number 7.
The Park Cafe comes in at number 6. I mean, come on, it's in Central Park. It's got a nice vibe. You can sit outside, sit inside, and the food is just very familiar to those who have maybe also sailed on the Oasis class ships. It's really I just love going there for breakfast or for lunch. And the morning you have your bagel bar, and some paninis or some things that they can grill for you. It's just a nice, quick breakfast stop.
And they also had breakfast sandwiches, and they have like English muffins with like egg and cheese and whatever. So they had ham on them. So we asked for them to make one special for us without the meat, and that was no problem whatsoever. So if you have any sort of dietary considerations, that might be a good place to consider because they are there making them to order.
One thing I like when you hit the lunchtime is they have a small salad bar that they will make. You tell them what you want to put in and they'll make it for you. So it's just nice to get away from the large crowded salad bars that you may find at the Windjammer, and you can just get yours made right there in Central Park.
Yeah. And like you said, the ambiance in Central Park is really nice.
I mean, nothing against the big buffet, but Central Park does have it beat.
Coming in at number 5 is Sorrento's Pizza. Now, I will say on Icon of the Seas, with all of the families and kids and teenagers, everybody loves pizza, I guess. I don't, but most people do. Sorrento's cranked out a lot of pizzas. And that place was always busy, but it was really quick, a very fast service. And, you know, it's pizza, which everybody loves. It's not gourmet pizza, but you like it.
Yeah, well, I like it so much, I pushed it up to number 5, especially since pizza's not your jam. But I got it moved up. It's just a go-to snack. And again, it's just familiar fare, which slots it nicely in the middle of our top 8. We're now halfway through the list. Things are going to get interesting, battling for the number 1 spot. But if you're finding this interesting, do us a favor, hit the like and the subscribe button. It's really helpful for us to know which videos you want to see made, and it also helps YouTube know which videos to send out to everyone. So do that and we would really appreciate it. Now let's get back to the food.
Number 4, El Loco Fresh. Now, this El Loco Fresh I thought was even better than the ones on Oasis class ships, to be honest. The food was basically the same,
Sure.
right? All your basic Mexican food, burritos, quesadillas, nachos, and then all the toppings, all the fixings. So that was great, and they had more than one station for each, which was fabulous. But I don't remember there being frozen margaritas at the other El Loco Fresh. Do you?
Well, not the way the bar and the food was situated. Okay, if you're talking about what raises this to number 4 and it's better than other ships, you have a full frozen margarita bar on one side. If you go to the other side, you wind up with a hot tub and then a little further a pool. So it's kind of slotted in a really amazing area. So the food and location, ding, number 4 on our list. It's getting good, number 3, dun da da, the Pearl Café. Now this for me personally was a shock because I'd heard about it and I had thought it would be kind of like the Café Promenade, which is across more than half the fleet, but the food was, I'm going to say it, completely different than the typical staples you would get at the Café Promenade. That ratcheted it up pretty high, and then you turn the corner a little bit and they have grab-and-go salads and sandwiches, so if you don't want to wait in line, you can grab it and just take it to a table or back to your stateroom, anywhere in the ship. It was unique and really a great idea.
So I had a quinoa salad there. What did you have?
A chickpea salad and some of the sandwiches there also. There was a lot of food there.
You had cookies too.
I had a lot of cookies, a lot of cookies.
So yeah, not only was the food quality very good, the food selection was very good, and it's fully staffed and it's open 24 hours a day.
Definitely rises to the top 3 of our list.
And I heard that the breakfast sandwiches there are fantastic. I didn't try it. You didn't try one, right?
Never made it there during breakfast. I also do want to just quickly mention that where you sit at the tables of the Pearl Cafe, on one side you have the top entrance of the Pearl, and on the other side you have a 3-story bank of windows. So the ambiance of this 24-hour place may be one of the best places on the ship.
And the seats were comfortable, and they were pink velvet.
Okay, well, that's your number 3. That's why I made it.
Coming in at number 2 is actually the main dining room, which kind of is surprising because there's obviously the main dining room on every single ship. But this main dining room, even though it is the newest, obviously, in the fleet, except for Star, the decor, first of all, it's an experience because it's like being on one of those older classic ships. You've got the burgundy and the velvet and the gold and the gigantic chandeliers. And then on top of that was the food.
I know, the food, it was, as you said, the same menus, but it was done just right. And I'm talking about how it was cooked, how it was plated, the temperature. All 3 things were about the best we've ever had at a main dining room. So it had to make the list. And those 3 things ratcheted up to be, for me, it was like the number 2 place.
Yeah, I think that we had thought, oh, they're preparing thousands of meals. So, you know, things might be sitting under the heat lamp or it might not be perfect. It was perfect. Every meal, every dessert, every appetizer, perfect.
Yeah, I had this test with the warm apple cobbler. It usually comes in piping hot that you have to cool it down. It was just hot enough. And I didn't have to like soak it in ice cream to lower the temperature. Every item was like that. Just perfection in the main dining room on Icon of the Seas.
And they have fantastic staff. So if you're thinking, oh, there's all these dozens of places to eat, I'll just, skip the main dining room. You've got to at least give it a try because it is number 2 on our list and for good reason.
And now, the undisputed champion of Icon of the Seas with the free locations is on deck 15, the Aquadome Market. It was awesome. That's all I got to say.
This place had 5 different places to eat. They had Garden Fresh or Fresh Garden or something like that. And then there was the Feta Mediterranean. And then there was the mac and cheese. And then there was ginger, which was Asian fare. And then around the corner was creme de la crepe, which was crepes. And let's tell you what we tried there. So we definitely ate at that Feta Mediterranean. You choose your base, which I chose a pita most of the time. And then they have different toppings, which was so good. We literally, I don't even know how many times we went back there for lunch.
Yeah. Okay, so follow me with this. That was number 1 of number 1.
Yes.
It was the best place of our number 1 Aquadome Market.
It was scrumptious, and they make it to order. So you tell them what base you want, and then they put the different toppings on. They have different sauces, and you could just try a different concoction every single time. So that was great. And then I almost tried the mac and cheese, but I was trying to stay away from pasta. Did you have the mac?
Yes.
You had the mac and cheese.
I did.
What did you have?
I just had the basic mac and cheese, and it was basically really delicious. Solid choice, but you have 3 or 4 other choices where they mix in different things, all there ready for you to just to point to which one you want, and they'll serve it up in a nice bowl.
Did you go to ginger?
A little bit. So, well, I had to get the fortune cookie. Where else have you seen fortune cookies on a cruise ship?
Okay, so you got a fortune cookie.
Well, that and the spring rolls.
Oh,
and
you do love spring rolls.
I do love spring rolls. It was good, but it wasn't the Star, which was obviously the Mediterranean place. But what a selection, which leads up to maybe your number 1 place there. I'm not sure.
Oh no, I think Feta Mediterranean was my number 1.
Okay.
But the crepes were really good too. I only had one which was the banana Nutella one. That is really, really good. You had one.
Yeah, caramel sauce, and I think you're learning a lot, but I actually had 2 or 3. Mostly, as you can see from the footage, I just had to make sure that I was getting enough footage. So it was just for research purposes.
Research.
Yes.
Okay. Well, thank you, Professor.
No problem. I'll gladly go back on Icon to do more free food research.
Okay. So there you have it. That is our ranking of at least the top 8 eateries that are free on Icon of the Seas. I will say the overall food scene on Icon is, I think, probably the best of any cruise ship we've been on. What about, do you agree?
I totally agree. Food isn't the primary reason that we sail, but it would draw me back to the Icon or Icon class ships for the variety and also the different places that you don't get on the other classes of ships. The bottom line, the takeaway of this, is that you can have amazing food without spending a dime on Icon of the Seas. Basecamp all the way through the Aquadome Market, you're not going to be disappointed.
If you've been on Icon, let us know if you agree and what your number 1 spot is to eat on the ship.
If you haven't sailed Icon and you're even more curious now, definitely check out our wow places on the ship. You'll see the link here. It's worth checking the non-food places that made our jaw drop. Definitely worth it.
Thanks for watching.
All right, take care.